Join the Geyser.
After that little meeting of the minds.
Look, that.
You just make them disappear.
Yeah. Look, they're getting teleported to the Virgin Victory, and then they're turning into missiles for me.
Hooray!
Alright, I'm sure they're happy to be a missile.
That seems a little rude, actually. Do they get a choice in this?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a government-mandated thing.
Wait a minute. I see something. Wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Hey. Not gonna spoil it, but something's gonna happen.
Yeah. So one of the it's hard to juggle those dudes when they still have their shields up because you'll eventually just bonk into their shields, even when they're like stunned. One of the good things when fighting enemies where they fire lasers at you is that your sword doesn't have to stay up to reflect the laser. You can still attack with the sword and it will still get reflected. So you don't just have to like...
That's not how physics works, but okay. What was that bottle cap for? Return to sender.
That's just reflecting a certain amount of lasers back at enemies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whoop. So yeah, thankfully you don't have to like sit around and wait for a laser to get reflected before you can do anything again. When you pick up these big Geth Jerk weapons, like we haven't seen the laser one before, but when you're carrying those, you can't move very fast at all. But we have a move that can fix that. If you're carrying a Geth Jerk weapon and you want to get around quickly, Unite Ball actually lets you carry it very fast.
You tricky little dude.
More open doors. So this is actually we'll get those later, but I thought I got them now. So there's one weird thing with this game that doesn't work entirely correctly, and it's with these doors. Or actually with Unite build things too. Anything that requires 100 people, watch this. One little guy's just hanging out back there.
What a jerk! I hate that guy.
So if you're doing something that needs 100 people, and that last guy doesn't want to do anything, just like tap the stick again, and he'll get in line. It's a really weird. I think it's just a weird bug. I don't. That's
strange. Yeah.
It only happens when you need all 100 people too. So I don't. Yeah.
Is there any chapter where we don't meet new enemies?
No.
Nice.
This game has a bajillion different enemy types and variations of enemy types.
That's so great.
Dude, it's like covered with spiky armor.
Now you tell us!
What do we do?
But gives! You guys are already here! Oh my god, you will not believe the day I'm living! It's so nice of you to join us! This is, what do you say, fashionably late, no? The keyword is fashionably. I got in late last night, but there was this party, and then the after party, and then the after party. I needed a major powder break to freshen up before meeting you guys. Good thing I made it on time. On time? The invasion is practically over. We have been risking our necks and you have been putting on makeup. Don't go there!
We've been waiting for you, Ms. Mariana Kresresco, Sentinel Special Combat Agent from the Transylvania Field Office. Or should I say, Wonder Pink?
Who is this Captain Buzzkill?
I'm Wonder Red. Wonderful one from Blossom City.
Right, not my type.
Hey, can we save the meet and greet for later? We got a pain-in-the-butt hedgehog to get rid of.
A real gentleman would take care of the hedgehogs himself. Those spikes will wreak havoc with my beautiful whip. I think I'll pass.
one of the lesser-known Belmonts.
It's funny that you mentioned Belmont's, because if you look at her backstory, it says her whip is made from Belmont alloy.
So tell me about this whip.
This whip can remove spiked armor. After hitting him a certain amount of times, armored enemies will stagger. Make a big whip, and you can pull up a whole bunch of his armor at once.
Nice.
So whenever it gets staggered, the next hit with the whip will remove armor. The amount of armor that is removed depends on how big your whip is. 50 people in the whip removes half armor. 100 people, all the armor at once. Stunned enemies can also be picked up and thrown with the whip.
Nice.
So a lot of people complain that these guys take forever, and it's mainly because they keep trying to remove armor with the smallest whip possible. Just make a big whip, and it goes by very quickly.
Bigger is better. Bigger is better.
That applies to literally every single weapon. Bigger is better. Any special property to any weapon, it's better if it's bigger. Like, there's also like a little trick with that enemy that we'll see at a later point, where you can remove their armor like in a second. You don't even have to stagger them.
So the first significant lady hero is a fashionista who flashes her booty and removes dudes' clothing as her special power.
I suppose so, yeah.
Dang it!
Yeah. It sucks because there's some cool minor lady wonderful ones. But they don't...
I think the nurses are the real heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Wonder Pink that much. She is my least favorite wonderful one, actually. Not even the main colored ones. It's like, out of all of them, I think. And the weapon's fun.
Number 100 out of 100.
Yeah. The whip is a fun weapon, at least. There's no score bonus for picking up and slamming enemies into each other, though, so...
Well, what is even the point?
It does a lot of damage, is the thing, but you're not going to get any sort of style bonus for it. On higher difficulties, it's really useful, though, because in higher difficulties, enemies will have much larger amounts of health, so the whip throw gets a little more balanced and becomes more useful score-wise, too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I also like how she carries the whip upright like that.
Yeah.
That's got to take a lot of practice.
So there's like a little heart at the tip of the whip when it's just made out of 10 people, but if you make the whip even larger, it turns into an angry little pincer claw thing. Yeah. So when I picked up like the Geti Dogu earlier, large enemies have to be picked up with a larger whip. The small ones, like the Dogus and all that, they can be picked up with the smallest one, but anything medium or bigger, you have to have a big whip to pick them up. And of course, a secret.
Yeah, let's enter that place.
Yeah, sure. So the gimmick for this one is that you start off with only 10 people. But there are these Geth Jerk remotes that you can pick up. When you pick those up, it sends out a blast radius that recruits any Dogus within it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this was pretty easy. A lot of the beginning normal ones are pretty easy, except for like 1 or 2. It's like the second half of the game where they kind of turn in, even on normal mode, they turn into nightmares, kind of. Just because a lot of them have really strict requirements as far as what you can do. They also don't give you Wonder Pink in this one, so you've only got access to the sword and...
That seems odd.
Actually, yeah,
I mean,
they only
it's
give you...
the first one, you could use it as sort of a training thing for the whip, with the way it's placed.
Yeah, I actually think this one technically appears the fight before Wonder Pink.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually get to it earlier, but...
Number 27.
So, like, all of the enemy names in here in this game are obviously really weird, like Kaku, Riga, Geti, Dogu, and all that. The names are actually, the way they localize the names in this game is, they took the Japanese names and then kind of corrupted them as, like, if you mispronounced it a little bit. And then just spelled it phonetically.
That's why it will be impossible for me to remember any of them.
Yeah, there's also that window way over there.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. The whip can also grab onto hooks and stuff, so you can use it to swing around.
Uh-huh. As one would expect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does the super big whip, does the 100 whip have something else on the end? Or is it just the two sort of whip designs?
It's basically those two designs.
Okay.
When it's larger, it just gets a bigger, angry claw.
That's one more than the sword and hand have.
Yeah. Mystery bonus.
Good job. Oh, I even forget what it was. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just make the whip for the first time.
Or do you?